Or if it's just the three of us,
Hopefully.
that's cool too.
Yeah.
Have you heard from her? Like today?
She retweeted it, so she'll probably show up in a few. It's fine.
That counts.
Yeah.
Life happens. Oh God, I got an ad before this. That's weird. That's weird.
Look at you,
I was
so
repracticing
professional.
for live, and it looks like
Accidental
we are.
professional.
Oh wow. Okay, weird. I have to act. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to act cool now. I have ads, right? Is that how that works?
We're on a monetized channel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, you have to behave yourselves. I'm kidding. I don't give a shit. Be rowdy. It's my channel.
I was
Always
going to
be
say,
rowdy.
I don't think we're going to be the problem.
No, I'm my own problem. It's fine.
You.
Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? Welcome to today's read-in. I know we've got some competition today. There's a live podcast happening, so I appreciate anyone who decided to come to this instead.
Wait, who's doing the podcast?
Fated Mates has a live podcast today, and I was like, at the same time. It's fine.
Yeah. You're right.
Yes, Maya, I don't feel fancy about the ads. It's just weird. Like I was like, normally I refresh and make sure we're up. And I'm like, oh God, I have an ad before this.
Just 2 ads are playing on my phone. So
wow. Oh, thank you for making me money. Making me like 10
I'm letting
cents.
them play through.
10 cents, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
So how's everybody's Saturday going? Let us know in the comments what you're reading and how your readathon's going. And let's talk about how our readathons are going. I feel like, we're coming in on the first end of the week, like for our 2-week readathon. I'm feeling pretty good. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh God. Sorry, I opened a can of worms.
The enthusiasm is not there.
No, I just I don't know. I decided to be like really casual with this readathon. There have been other readathons where I'm like, a book, a prompt. I'm gonna like try to get as much possible. And this readathon, I was like, what happens, which is not my like normal MO. So yeah,
you released the tension with it.
That's right.
I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm kind of rolling with the flow. I've read a lot, so I say that, and I'm like, yeah, but I've already read like 5 books.
I don't even remember. I read an arc and other things. I'm gonna look. I'm looking.
I'm looking right now. I've got to pull up my Goodreads because y'all, I don't know. Kayla, I see you. I see you editing your Vlogmas. I'll be watching them probably this week, maybe if I get through it. I have so much stuff to watch, guys. It's ridiculous. I'm behind on TBRs for this readathon. I was like, I'm terrible.
Whether it's books or videos or whatever, if it's been so long and I haven't gotten to it, I'm tired of it nagging at me and I just delete it without ever having clicked it.
Being on there like
TBRs though.
Well, yeah, because you're a host, you have duties.
I feel like I need to go comment on them and give them love. That's the hard part.
You're right. You should do that.
Oh, Sharon, you are killing it. I am amazed.
Wow,
I can't see.
Nice.
Book 7 and 8.
That's like more than a book a day.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm only at like over a book a day because I'm reading manga too for 25 days of manga. like
all mine have been novellas, and I'm still at like 4 because I haven't really been reading.
Yes, more IAD.
I
just finished book 2. Got to dive into 3.
Yeah, I'm on book 4. I will finish book 5 during our first reading sprint. And then I've read 3 volumes of manga.
Wow, you're so confident. Like I'm gonna finish
I have 30 minutes left in the audiobook. If I do not finish that in our reading sprint, there's a problem.
I can foresee problems happening.
Look, abandon your TBR and just read whatever you want. All you have to do is read romance. That's like, this is the simplest readathon. Just read romance. That's all we want.
I don't even care if you completely remake your bingo board. Like just
like
everything
you don't even
out.
need to do a bingo board. You can just read romance and be like, I did the takeover.
True story.
I finished 2 books earlier this week. I finished The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren, and I finished which I put down for like 2 months. And then I finished the second IAD, No Rest for the Wicked.
Did you like it more?
I did like it, but I mean, I didn't dislike the first one. The first one was just sort of like I had very low expectations. I was just like,
Mhm.
everyone loves this. I'm going to love it. And I did. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I could see some issues with the first one. And I felt like the second one was a bit better. And I'm planning on continuing. I already have the third one checked out. But today I'm reading Heartbeat Braves.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about how bad of an admin I am for that book because I haven't read the book yet.
I have seen very little commenting, and I was like, this is supposed to be happening tomorrow, guys.
I know. It'll pick up today usually. That's the Romance Sparks Joy book club pick, guys. There's a Discord. There's a link in our Discord to join that Discord if you want. I help admin them. We read underrepresented books every month. And Brie, this has immediately went on my TBR. So thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds delightful. Aladdin
Isn't that
retelling.
YA though? Is
I
that
don't know.
true or not? I feel like it was. Maybe not. Bree, correct me. I've read like 5 books too.
It looks like it is YA. Heck yeah.
Bree's already kicking butt. She's read 5 books for the readathon.
Dang.
I read 5 books plus a YA, but they were all novellas, and 4 of them are Christmas. One was In His Custody by Jessica Cain. Have you guys read that?
Mm-mm.
It's something. Have you read Jessica Cain?
Yes. I have suspicions on who Jessica Cain is.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
You must tell me in private then.
I think it's an author who got banned from Amazon with a new pen name.
Oh.
Because they read
maybe so.
Banned for why?
Stuffing books.
Yeah, for
because
it's
very similarly to some other authors that an author,
the famous ones on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can put it together, y'all. I mean, I just suspect. And Bethany's here. Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late.
You're fine. We're just hanging out. How's your readathon going?
I haven't been reading a whole heck of a lot this week, unfortunately, but I think I'm going to be able to pick it up this weekend.
That's good.
So yeah, just some unforeseen things happening this week, but yeah, I think I'm going to be able to pick it up this weekend. I'm almost done with 2, and then I have 4 more planned, so we'll see what happens.
That's super doable.
Nice.
In the next week. That's the best part about a 2-week readathon I've decided is I'm just like, I have time. I actually feel like I have time.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I feel like, okay, it's not like a week and I've totally wasted my time. Like there's more time that I can make this up. So
yes.
Yeah.
I want more 2-week-long readathons personally.
Yeah.
Plus, I always read like 4 a day or like nothing for 3 days. So
yeah,
having more than 1 week is helpful.
Yes. I'm the same way. Like if I feel like I have too much pressure, I'll just won't read.
Yeah.
That's just abandon ship.
True story.
All right. Do you guys want to talk about some Grumpy Sunshine books? Do you guys have any? I know I kind of picked this because like we were debating what my trope should be for my videos, and I was like, maybe we should do my favorite. The one in which I believe my marriage is, which is a Grumpy Sunshine. / like I'm kind of the chaos Muppet. It's fine. But do you guys want to talk about like why you like the trope? If you like the trope a lot, or if you're new to the trope, I guess. For me, I just think it's always fun having opposites interact. I love the banter that comes with the Grumpy Sunshine. Specifically when a grumpy one is like, I don't want to deal with you. And they're like, whatever. And they just annoy the shit out of them. It's my favorite.
I love that. I love when like the grumpy one is too serious, like for their own good. Like they just cannot enjoy life. And then the sunshine one just like will not shut up. That's my favorite. And it just like warms them up. So good.
Just unravel them.
I love Counterfeit Love by Jessica Gaziella. Yes, I worked her in to Alive.
Your brand.
It's so good. I love her. But Counterfeit Love is romantic suspense, and the counterfeiter is the guy, and he's the sunshine one. And he's just like so easygoing, and he used to smoke, so he quit by like cherry, I think, lollipops. So he constantly has lollipops. And he's like so happy and go with the flow. And then the heroine is a survivor of sexual trafficking. So it's handled like really well. There's nothing super graphic, but you get the idea that she's really been through it
Mhm.
and you kind of know what
Yeah.
she's been through. And she basically kidnaps him and she's like, I need a counterfeiter because I'm taking down all these sexual traffickers with like other people. But like this is her baby, this is her pet project. And so she like kidnaps him and he's like, you could have just asked me, like I would have helped you. And then and then she ends up rescuing him at the end, and it's just awesome. It's the most glorious thing.
So wait, what is this called? Because I'd love to see a Sunshine Mail. That's kind of fun. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever
So
seen that
I
ever
have
before.
one other Sunshine Mail also, and if you want
I'll
to,
type it.
if you can type it out in the comments, I'll pop it up on the screen for everybody. There's a Sunshine female male one. It's his grumpy best friend, I think, or childhood
Oh.
friend from Jackie Lau is another one.
Ooh.
I haven't read it yet. I want to start it this week. She also has grumpy fake boyfriend, which is delightful. It is her like debut, so it's a little rough maybe, but I think as I've continued to read her, you see like her writing grow, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
all right, hold on, let me pop that up. All right, go ahead, Laura.
I would say that I'm somewhat new / not very well read in this trope. I like it, and I definitely love the appeal of the one character who's just like meh, 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 and then the other person's just like, I'm so optimistic, it's great. I am currently reading The Duchess Deal, and that was definitely something that I think fits this trope, and I'm liking it a lot. I definitely feel like that banter that is present in The Duchess Deal, as well as in other books, could work really great for this trope. And I love good banter because I feel like that's what I want most in my romances. Is I want to see that relationship and emotional development, and I feel like Grumpy and Sunshine, or Opposites Attract, there is a lot of that in those romances. So I'm looking forward to all the recs that I'm going to get this live.
Yes,
I had the
It's the
Duchess
best.
Deal on my list. I think it's a really, really good one for this
agreed.
one.
It is also on my list. I mean, Grumpy Sunshine at its base is basically Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
trope, like
Right.
boiled down to like one element of that trope.
he's such a
Yeah.
grump, and she just like will not take any of it. She's like, no, you're gonna deal.
I love it. It's the best. All right, Bethany.
I have The Billionaire's Fake Fiancé. I like covers, so I like to show physical visuals
That on my TBR.
by Annika Martin. Okay, so I think the covers changed now. This is the old cover version, but it is such a good Grump and Sunshine. She's totally chaos, and he's like super structured, and she is like his hairdresser, and he's just annoyed by her to no end. She gets set up as a fake fiance to go to his like big business trip because he's a big businessman, and the tension and banter between them is so good. It's so good. It's funny because I don't actually think. I think I love Grump and Sunshine trope, but I didn't think I knew what that was called until I really got more into the tropes and knowing the names of all the different tropes. So I think I've always loved it, but I never knew that it was like that it was a thing, if that makes sense. So I feel like I've read a ton of them, and they're some of my faves, but I didn't really know of it a trope until I heard the name of it. And I was like, oh, I like that. And I know I like that.
Right.
So this is the next one I was going to rec, which is Pretty Face by Lucy Parker. This is part of her London Celebrities series, which is honestly, that whole series is amazing. I think there's one book I didn't love as much as the others. This one is like, she's like this beautiful actress. People think she's like dumb, and she's kind of like a Marilyn Monroe, like modern day-ish. You know, people think she's dumb because she's too pretty, and he's just so grumpy, and it's so good. It's so good. I cannot recommend it enough.
But does he think she's
I think early on he does, but he very quickly realizes his misconceptions of her are wrong completely.
Yeah. As long as it's like super quick. I hate when it's like 60% in and the hero is still
it was like the first. It was early. Cool. I would not love that book as much. much
Yeah.
if it was 60% in. And he was like, "Oh, you're not an idiot." I would
I
be like,
don't know.
"Lucy Parker? Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I highly
know.
recommend." All of her books are stage series, so like they're all kind of like most of them are like Broadway stars, but in London, so in the West End.
Okay.
And then the final one
Got it.
is newscasters that are enemies to lovers. That is very good.
Can't beat that.
And you don't have to read it in order, Brie. You could definitely start with Pretty Face if you wanted. I think all of them pretty much you could read on their own without like going in order. So they like kind of show up in other books, but not enough to be like, it's not a spoiler. They're on the back of the
Yeah.
book. You know the couples, you know?
Right. Yeah. Couples are never a spoiler, in my opinion. Unless it's like a book that's a love triangle where it's like very much who is it going to be, then I guess. But that's it.
No
Even
crop shots here, Brie. No, absolutely not. Sorry. 80%? Like I would die. Are you kidding me? No.
No, I'm with you, Brie. I love the slow burn.
I have one slow burn wreck on this list. That's it. So
I despise slow burn. Kind of. I'm just an impatient
I have to be in
person.
just the right mood, y'all. Like just the right mood.
I'm not
Would
in
you
that
say-
mood ever.
Would you say The Wall of Winnipeg is a grumpy sunshine? I don't know that she's sunshiny enough to count
I
for
don't
this.
Yeah, I don't think she's
Not
sunshiny
sunshiny enough. Yeah.
either. Yeah, no, yeah, but it's close. I feel like
Yeah.
it's almost.
He's definitely
almost
got that like grump part down.
Oh yeah, he's got the grump part
If she
down.
was just a little bit brighter, 100%.
Yeah.
Like it's like right on that border. Like it's so close to being it, but it's not quite.
I think
Yeah.
it's definitely more enemies to lovers for that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Begrudgingly friends. Lovers, I feel like almost. I love that book, but
I do
don't
too.
have the
That's a good one.
I didn't realize
have
how
to be
much
in the
of a slow
mood.
burn that was.
I
You know,
have
that's-
to be in the mood.
You didn't realize how slow burn it was.
You're right.
Nobody warned you about Mariana Zapata.
Oh yeah, Mariana Zapata. She's all slow burn all the time.
My cousin recommended The Wall of Winnipeg, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm like 60% in, and I'm just like, I was not expecting this. And yeah, there's like and I messaged my cousin and was like, this is good, but also why? Why did you like the one that I had recommended to her? There was like sex on page 3, and I was like, you're welcome.
I love that.
It's true though. Like if I'm in the mood, I'm down. But if I'm not in the mood, that's a disappointment. Does anybody else have another one they want to rack? I don't want to just be the only one giving.
I
rack.
do.
You do.
I do.
Okay. Go for it.
Have you guys read Against the Ropes by Sarah Cecile? It's redemption number 1. He's
Mhm.
the owner / founder of starts out illegal, pretty sure, MMA gym. So he's like super alpha and controlled violence and stuff. And she's like a medic who like cannot stand violence and stuff. And
Oh.
she's like so cute and sweet. And he's like such a grump that like pursues her. And it's great. It's so good.
Sounds fun.
I read the whole series.
I like an illegal fighting gym.
It was
That's
awesome.
intriguing.
I had like never read anything like it. And I was like, oh my gosh, give it to me.
That sounds
Okay.
good to have a lot of that tension between her being anti-violence and him being like surrounded
Yes.
by it all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Plus, she like actually had trauma from it. Not like I don't think it was her specifically. It's been a while since I read it.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the environment and like the sounds of people punching and stuff she had issues with. But they like
Yeah.
needed a medic at the gym and it was illegal. So they couldn't just go get one. So
Right.
I forget why she needed money or something. I don't know. And it was so good. So good.
That sounds so good.
Highly, highly recommend it. Like I should reread it. That's how much I like it.
That sounds a lot.
It does. It really does. Because I read so much, especially before I started BookTube, that for me to reread is a good book for me, which means it might be insta love and garbage for somebody else. But
Okay, I like a good insta love. You're fine.
I
Bethany,
know.
do you
You
have
guys-
another one? Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Laura.
I was going to not have a recommendation. I was just going to ask a question. So
Okay.
if, well, my question is, do you guys think that this trope is more associated with specific subgenres of romance? Like most of the ones that I'm coming up with in my head or that I'm seeing sort of, I don't know. I feel like to me, I associate this trope with like a historical romance where like the rich duke is just like a grump,
Yeah,
but
you do. Because I was thinking about this for like paranormal, and it's like all those heroines are not the sunshine ones. Like they're super,
Even the heroes aren't
Chitla
sunshine ones. I
and
feel like
stuff.
it's most
Yeah.
paranormals.
Yeah.
So, like, I associate this with contemporaries and historicals mostly. I would say my list on Goodreads is a mix of both. I actually have more contemporary on my list than historical, which is interesting. I haven't updated it though. I do have books I need to add.
I see more contemporary and historical too. I don't think I've ever so more contemporary I think is what I've seen so far, but I think I know historical has quite a few of those too. I think the key is the sunshine character, right? Because I think there's a lot of characters that are grumps, but there's not necessarily a sunshine counterpart.
Yep.
Yeah. They have to be extremely extra in which they are sunshiny, I feel like.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Let's see.
I do have one more rec, but
Go
this
for
is an arc. This is an arc, and I
it.
know it's super hyped by a lot of people already, anyways. But I just wanted to talk about it because I just finished it. Just is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert.
Grumpy Sunshine.
It is a Grumpy Sunshine, and it's really, really good. Eve is totally like sunshine chaos all the time, and Jacob is like this grump, but with like a little bit of a cinnamon roll center. It's so sweet.
The best.
And they're both autistic, so they like totally work together on a really special wavelength. It was so good, and it comes out in March, but it's definitely keep it on your radar.
I felt like Danny Brown like towed the line of almost being Grumpy Sunshine because I felt like Danny was a little grumpy and Zap was definitely sunshiny-ish, but they would also like switch back and forth for who was kind of more sunshine and who was grumpy, and I was like, this is interesting. But it's not quite enough. I will give you guys a slow burn Grumpy Sunshine, which is managed by Kristen Callahan. This is one of my favorite books. I've reread it twice this year.
Ooh, wow.
Or within a year, I've reread it. This is a stuck-up manager of a band that's really famous. He has fears of flying, and they meet on her flight to go to London to interview for a job. Turns out the band she's interviewing with is the band he manages, and they cuddle on the flight over to calm him down, like because he has huge flying anxiety. And he literally like calls her Sunshine, or she calls him Sunshine because he's so grumpy, and he calls her Darling because like that's her last name, and it's so freaking cute. I love this book. It is slow burn.
The reviews are good. Pretty much everybody loves it. I've just looked at it.
It's really highly rated.
Yeah.
It does have some language I didn't love in it around ableism stuff, but it wasn't like pervasive, if that makes sense. Like it was like occasional, and I'd be like, dang it, why is this here? But I have so much highlighted. This is my a couple of friends of mine are doing a traveling book, and this was my pick for that because I was like, I have to get people's notes. And you can read this series out of order. You can read Managed and not read the rest of the books with no issue. And there is a Fated Mates episode about this book. I love this book. I did not think I would love Scotty as much as I do, but oh my goodness. It's so good.
I'd forgotten about reading that, and I remember when I did read it, I was like, oh, I love this. I should read the rest of the series, and then I didn't. So I remember liking it, but
I thought the first book was decent. I have not read the third book because I just don't care. I just want Scotty in my life 24/7. So that's part of it. He is just, and it's so funny because she uses all these insults like in the book. So I was highlighting them as I read. It was like shitballs and cockwomble, like random things. She always has like a weird, funny insult to give people. Or like an expression, and I was like, it's so good. Yeah, he calls her Chatty Girl and Darling because that's her last name.
Okay.
I love
And I think
knitwear.
she's tall too, if I remember correctly. I don't think she's a shorter heroine, which is kind of interesting because I don't feel like we get that a lot. And she does like retro styling kind of situation. She's so good.
The
Can
tall
I?
heroine that always sticks out in my mind is Dragon Actually, because she's like that warrior queen and she's like
Mhm.
6'1" or something.
Hmm.
I always remember her.
Goals, man. I wish I could still grow.
Yeah.
I want to be 6'1". This sounds amazing.
Can we go back? There was a question in the comments about if Birthday Girl was a grumpy sunshine. I kind of wanted to ask that because I thought that was a really interesting question.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know.
I feel like it's a bigger of an age difference, really, not necessarily
I
grumpy sunshine.
The focus on that one is definitely more the age difference, not the grumpy sunshine part. But I think it toes the line because I don't feel like she's sunshiny.
Not really, no.
So yeah, I don't think it is. Sharon, I bet you've read these and you just don't even realize it, Sharon, probably. Because I know, like, when I look at my list, I'm missing like so many books that I've read that are this. It continues to amaze me. Star Bearded Mind is possibly Grumpy Sunshine.
I don't necessarily agree that Beard in Mind is. I don't feel like Shelley is like a grump. I mean, she's sort of standoffish, but there's sort of more. She has OCD, I think. So she's standoffish and she's like stoic, but to me, she was never like grumpy. She was
Yeah.
working through those issues.
Wallflower Wager. I don't think I've read that one yet, but I feel like that one probably is Grumpy Sunshine by Tessa Dare.
Isn't that the one that you said you were reading right now, Laura?
No, I'm reading The Duchess Deal.
Oh, the Duchess
Isn't
deal.
the
Right.
Wallflower one the one with the animals?
Yes, that is that is kind of Grumpy Sunshine. I can kind of see that. I don't know if he's grumpy enough though. He's kind of, I don't know.
And I started it and I just was not in the mood for historical when I started it one day, and I was like, we're just gonna put you back. Do y'all want to read for like 30 minutes and then we'll come back and chat some more and probably do another reading sprint since it's almost 3:30?
That sounds good.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sure, let's go for it.
All right, I will put it in the chat. We'll mute and we'll read for 30 and come back. I will be finishing Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy. If you guys want to share what you're reading again.
I have no idea because I don't think I'm going to keep reading what I'm reading. So we might have a DNF and then a random pickup because that's what I do. The one that I'm reading is he's like a bad boy motorcycle. And she's a sheltered daughter of a preacher who ran away and was homeschooled, and her parents didn't love each other or their kid. And I'm
Yikes.
so over that right now. So I don't think I can read
Yeah.
another one within it. So, anyways, that's like my only issue with the book. I don't remember what it's called. All Revved, maybe. But I think I'm going to DNF it and read something else.
That's fair.
You can
I'm reading Heartbeat Braves by Pamela Sanderson.
Bethany.
I might be switching between two. I'm listening to the Viscount Who Loved Me on audio on my Libby on my phone, and then my ebook right now is Dirty Like Jude, which is from the Dirty series, which is a band series. So I don't know which one I'm going to do right now. I might do Viscount and then I might switch. But I actually just woke up. I usually don't wake up before noon, and I'm on the West Coast, so I'm actually also going to grab breakfast, and I'll be right back.
That works. All right, y'all. Let's go read.
Sounds good.
Okay. I just have to figure out how to mute it.
Hello, hello.
And we're back.
That's the worst part with these guys. It's like, no, I'm good.
I literally had minutes left in my chapter.
I literally finished it and I looked down. It was 4:00. Like, it was like, this has been. And I was like, yes. Hello, hello. So how was y'all's reading?
It's good. Got 2 chapters in, and
Nice.
it's sort of a slow story so far.
I got to the scene in the Viscount Who Loved Me where Anthony is under the table with Kate because there's a storm happening and Kate gets really terrified and he's like comforting her. It was so sweet. It was so cute.
That sounds really cute. That makes me. I don't remember when I read that or if I've read that.
The Bridgerton, the second Bridgerton book.
Okay, no, I have. I forgot about that scene. That's really cute.
I saw somebody mention it. It was on, I think it was on Twitter when people were like, "What's like the sweetest like scene that you can't forget in a romance book?"
Mm-hmm.
And someone mentioned that scene, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm looking forward to it because I'm listening to it right now." So yeah, it was really, really sweet.
Apparently, Kayla was prepared, so we didn't make her jump when we came back. See, everyone was like asking for like the scenes that live in their head rent free, and everyone was like, "This really cute," and I was like, when he bangs on the window because she's leaving. And I'm like, and when the guy almost cuts a finger off, I'm broken. Those are the thought scenes that live in my head rent free, guys. Or when like heads are delivered, I'm like, oh, this is so romantic.
You should have added to it. Someone would have liked it. Someone would
I
have
retweeted it with mine. I was like the window banging in Cressley Cole's The Player, and then in Dark Mafia Prince by Annika Martin. The finger scene continues to live rent free in my mind.
I forgot to unmute. I'm fine. And the reason why I popped out earlier was because
How was your
I was
reading?
trying to see if there was any messages in like the StreamYard chat. Apparently, I can't do that. So, I don't know. All right. So my reading was super good. It's My Fake Christmas Fiance by Julie Chris, and basically their marriage is part of the contract for their business merger, and it was set up by their dads, and the whole first chapter is their emails to each other. And at first he's like, it's totally fine, I'll get this out of it, and then like each email is an update of and now we are to like December, they have to be married by Christmas Eve. So they signed the contract a year ago, so the emails are like the whole first year. And now we're in crunch time. Both of their dads have gone away for different reasons, and they're stuck getting married. So it's very funny. Very funny.
That's fun. I finished a book I did not like. So I feel bad, guys. I feel bad. Everybody loves this book, and I did not like it.
What was it?
Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy.
Oh, is it? I have that one. It's this one, right?
You might like it. Yes, that one. Yeah, I've got mine somewhere. I've got a copy.
I know the premise.
So.
Why did you not really like it?
Yeah. I think I really liked her writing. I will read more Diana Quincy. So I don't think it was badly written. I think the expectations were too high because everyone was talking about how amazing it is and how innovative it is. The entire book hinges on this.
Yeah, I know that's not your favorite.
And that is 100% my least favorite. And I can deal with it to an extent. Yeah. But like, it just felt like they just kept wanting to bang, which I like. I love how strong of an open it is. But they just like, it seemed like they just kept hooking up to be like, well, this will fix it. And it's like, no, it's not. You need to talk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It felt like at one point I was mad at the hero, and at one point I was mad at the heroine. And I was like, this is not what I want out of a romance. I don't want to be mad at them while I'm reading it. Shay and I buddy read it from Shay Geeks Out, and Lindsay Tutt is her channel. We were all three buddy reading it together, and none of us like it. We all are like, this is a 3-star read. So I'm glad we buddy read it because everybody else I know loved it. And I'm just over here like, like literally the opening, I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this because like they bang in like the second chapter. It's a historical romance that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't
Like how
happen in
often do they hook
historicals.
up that fast? You know,
Right.
And it was really good. It was really strong open, and then it just was a lot of floundering. I was just like, oh my god, get your shit together
Yeah.
and just be together. It's fine.
Or
And
make a different conflict. Like make it
Yeah.
like a different, some unsurmountable.
Well, and the thing is
Thing.
the conflict with the stepdaughter. He was going to ask her stepdaughter to marry him.
Right.
Is like the conflict, and the way that resolved was fine. But then he was just like so mean afterwards, and I was like, I don't like you.
Mm.
I don't want to read about how you're being mean to the person that ran off with who was supposed to be your wife. When you hooked up with her stepmom unknowingly and then are like, you know, being a douche canoe about it. It just I'm curious to see more people's thoughts as like more people read it, I guess, if that makes sense.
I don't mind a little bit of miscommunication.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's really realistic. Like people miscommunicate.
Oh,
in real
totally.
life. But when the entire conflict of the book hinges on that, and you know that like 20 seconds worth of conversation could fix it, it's like I
And
want
that's
there to be
just it.
multiple other conflicts that also happen, and I love it when like miscommunication contributes to like a humor or something. But like,
Yeah, no,
at least
totally.
more.
I don't like that's the problem. I can't have a whole book hinge on miscommunication. You gotta give me something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I never like it when I feel
Yeah, if you're
annoyed.
gonna have a
when-
miscommunication, fine, but resolve it.
Yeah.
yeah,
within,
like don't wait to
2
resolve
pages.
it till the end.
That's real life.
Like he's literally running after her at the end
Yeah.
to like resolve the issue, and I'm like, I don't know. I
And
just felt like it could have been handled sooner.
And then it's too late, right? You feel like, oh, this went on like this
Mhm.
is too
Well,
late.
and
You
they
should have
kept like swapping who was miscommunicating with who, and just I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird. I think the hype really, really killed it, and it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm on a streak of 3-star reads right now.
Oh no.
So I'm just like, no, it's not the one that broke the streak. So we'll see. I mean, not my mangas. All my mangas have been good, but none of my books have been
Good.
like full length books have been a 4 or higher in a while. Which is
Bummer.
always
That is a
concerning.
bummer.
I hate it.
Hopefully it's around the corner.
It is. It'll happen. I know it will.
That's why I always reach for novellas. And that's like what keeps me from completely stopping.
I've got to
reading,
get back.
is if I have
to
bad books, I
my-
go to a novella.
I have B Love's Fans Only. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Fans Only.
I
to
have
read.
that too.
And I started it. It's my
I'm
after
gonna read
midnight
it for
book.
Smotheathon.
It's my after midnight book
Ooh,
for
that's a
this
good idea.
readathon. So I've read like 30% and fallen asleep every night at 10 o'clock.
Is it smutty yet?
Mm-mm. Oh no, yeah, it's getting there. They're like they
Oh.
started it. No, it is. It's quick. It moves
Okay, I was
quickly.
hoping.
I was thinking
because
about the
premise
intro of
that
it, and I
there
was like, no,
smut in,
wait,
like,
I'm
the
further
first
than that.
chapter.
Not first chapter, but pretty quick.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Antonella, that's C.
Gotcha.
Side characters are good. That helps. I really enjoyed the daughter in this book, which also feels weird. Like I was kind of more interested in her love story and who she chose to run off with than I was with the mom. Oh, the Duke and I. Yeah, that
Yeah.
book's interesting. I love seeing everyone's opinion on that book because I do think it's a pretty divisive book.
Yeah.
That one was To Have and to Hoax. Oh, I was looking at that
I
one.
want to just see this show.
I want to
There's
see
a
the
show?
show. The Bridgerton show.
Oh, To Have and to Hoax though
It's
isn't the
becoming
show.
a
No, no,
show.
no. No, I think she meant
Bridgerton's.
Bridgerton's.
Oh yes, Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
I am so psyched for it.
I'm ready. I have very big Christmas Day plans. I told no one to call. I told all my family, don't call me. I'm busy. I was like, I don't care. Don't call me. I'm busy.
I
They're
just
like,
want to.
Wow.
I just really hope it opens the doors for all the Regency
Yeah.
water and Regency romances to get their own.
That would be so great, wouldn't it?
Really, it really
Just
would.
like we don't need 20 more Jane Austen adaptions. We just need
right.
new Regencies redone.
Do we not
Sorry about
though? Because I can watch
I love
Jane
Jane
Austen all day,
Austen
every day.
adaptations.
can
I
watch
love
Jane
Jane
Austen all
Austen
day, every day.
adaptations. I'm not going to deny that. But there are a lot of other Regency romances we could adapt, or other historical eras we could
There
adapt.
are.
Like
Yeah.
they could do like Alyssa Cole's Loyal
True
League
story.
series. That would be Civil War. That would be really
Ooh,
interesting.
that would be really interesting. Yeah.
You know,
Or
Beverly
do- or
I
Jenkins.
didn't read anything based in the Civil War.
Me?
Yeah, you, Izzy.
I will
Yeah.
read Alyssa Cole's Civil War
Didn't you
books.
just say that in a video?
Yeah, no, I don't read war books unless it's by
Gotcha.
Alyssa Cole because I love her. And I read like Hamilton's Battalion, which was the
Yeah.
other war. Brain.
Revolutionary
The other
War.
Yes. Yes, the Revolutionary War. I was like, my brain is literally like, who gives a fuck about wars? I don't care.
There's been more than two.
Well,
I know.
Beverly Jenkins
Oh,
has
gosh.
Civil War romances though too. She has a couple.
Yes, she
has a
does.
few.
I will
Like-
read hers as well.
Mm.
Put it this way, I'm not going to read white authors writing about the Civil War. Okay, I'm just not. I'm done. I don't
Oh
need to.
yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
I'm scared to read
a,
Beverly Jenkins.
that's a mood.
I've not watched Harlots.
Really?
heard about
Why,
Harlots.
Heather? Are you worried you won't
I
like
feel
her?
like it's gonna be so emotional.
But
I don't
no,
know emotions.
they're actually really joyful. They're
Yeah,
not all
they're
emotional.
they're
they?
pretty joyful. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read
Are
like the Old
they?
West ones, like the Forbidden trilogy, like Forbidden, Tempest, and wow, my brain today. Anyways, that trilogy is very happy. The Destiny's Captive and
Okay.
like Destiny's Embrace, those are happy. Maybe don't start with
What
Indigo.
about?
Yeah, don't. Indigo's
I
more
was gonna
intense.
say Indigo is like the one I always see, and I'm like, that sounds so sad.
Yeah. Indigo's more intense. Go with the joyful. Go for the joyful. The Destiny series is really joyful, and the Forbidden series is really joyful too. So go
Yeah.
with those first.
Okay.
The new one, Rebel, is pretty joyful too. I feel like I don't feel like that one was too bad. That one was more education heavy. I felt like Rebel, but it was still really good. Yeah, it really depends on which one of hers you pick up, as far as how heavy it is. But she has all like huge time span.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a huge backlist.
It's wild.
Right. And I know, like, everybody loves her, but I just feel like because she's so good, she probably draws the emotions out of you, and I don't want my emotions drawn out. So, stay.
Close the door, lock them away, put a chain around the lock. Yeah, I think if you pick the happier ones, you'll be fine.
I think so too.
Yes.
I usually can cry pretty easily, and those ones where I was able to manage just fine.
I am not a crier in books, so I've not cried
Oh,
during
I
Beverly
am.
Jenkins yet. You are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sobbed during the headmaster. I sobbed.
Oh, I'm broken.
I'm like, why?
You're not
I
broken.
cried at this, and I'm like, okay. Okay, the one time a month I will cry like for 2 days over books though, so I take it back. There are some.
See, I just like release my emotions via crying. So even if it's like something stupid, if I'm like built up to the point where I need it, I'll cry.
This is a torture. I don't like it. I didn't even cry when I read Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan.
Well, and I don't necessarily cry, but like sometimes like romances will just kind of make me like just internally like just swoon a little bit. Those I like, and that's an emotional like response that
Yeah.
I'm okay with. But things that just straight up give me tears, I'm like,
This is
no,
the opposite.
right? No, and I usually don't cry over like romances unless they're going through something like really devastating or something. But usually if they're just like falling in love, then it's like I just kind of get that pit in my stomach of like roller coaster ride, butterfly, swoony feeling.
100%.
That is the feeling that I'm going for, not necessarily like sobbing.
Oh, I guess I'm like the odd one out. I cry probably every other book I read. Like, or at least maybe not like full cry, but definitely like like have a moment of mistiness, you know? And I reread books because they gave me that emotional response. I'm like, I'm really feeling like I need to have like a heartwarming, tender, loving, like sea book. I'm gonna go read that book, and then I'd like reread it just to like cry again.
I love it. I love that. Has anybody read The Fox and the
Not
Hound
me.
by R.S. Gray?
Mm-mm.
I've
only read
read
it.
R.S. Gray.
I have only read one or two things from R.S. Gray. I wasn't really a
I
huge
read
fan, so I
one.
haven't really gone
I
back.
think I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, same.
So that could be Grumpy Sunshine, but we do not know. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Anyone else in the chat can add too. Someone was talking about some other Shonda Rhimes show,
Laura,
Starcrossed. I haven't heard of that one.
You've got some people in the comments that are
Yes.
with you on the
Yes,
cry.
Ella. Yes,
I felt like
Diana.
I was super like broken when I did not like cry over Wolf Song, and everybody told me they cried about it.
Oh my god, I sobbed. Like I was gonna vlog Wolf Song, and I just like I took a picture,
I'm
and I
not
was just like
reading
so
it.
blotchy. I was like, I can't do this.
It was
can't do
very good. It just kind of gave me that pit in my stomach feeling. Where is it? I'm trying to find Boundless's
Mm-mm.
comment. And I was gonna pin it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
I know. And all right, here we go. Oh, there we go. I scrolled too far.
412, yeah.
I
have
don't know.
not seen that.
I've not heard of that show. I didn't know there wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought I'm not familiar with Starcrossed. What I wonder what series network it's on. I was curious because I pretty much thought Shonda Rhimes just did all the ABC.
Was Starcrossed like there was aliens? I think I'm misremembering something. Now I got to look up what I'm talking about.
Yeah, now I'm looking it up because I don't know. Oh, it looks
I'm
historical.
confused as to what we're even talking about.
It's a TV show. It looks like.
Shonda
Wow.
Rhimes is the one who's producing the Bridgertons.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing. I'm not helpful.
An NBC show based on the YA book of the same name, where it takes a look at what happened after Romeo and Juliet. Only had 8 episodes.
Oh, I didn't know that was Shonda Rhimes. I didn't know
Sounds
she ever
so
did it.
sad.
Who wants to know what happens after Romeo and Juliet? They're dead.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Their families are grieving. That's it.
Yeah, how does that? Okay. I'm kind of curious enough that if I could go watch it, I probably would because I'm just kind of like,
I'm intrigued too because I the only thing that I was familiar with Shonda Rhimes is all her stuff about Grey's Anatomy and Scandal and those ones. I didn't know she did anything that was else romantic.
I've never
didn't
even
either.
heard of this person. You guys know
Yes, you have.
they wanted me.
She produced the
I'm
Bridgertons.
not.
You know the Bridgertons.
Just mean I've heard of her. I've heard of the shows. Some of them.
Oh my god, How to Get Away with Murder? Isn't that her?
Yes.
Yes,
And,
that's her too. Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
and Scandal. Those are all her shows.
Did she have anything to do with Private Practice? Because that was sort of like
I
a.
watched like 2 episodes of the murder one, and that's it.
I
So
don't think she did Private Practice. Grey's Anatomy, I think, was her first show.
She has a
Yeah.
book called The Year of Yes.
She's kind of a big deal because I think the fact that she's a Black woman producer, and
Yeah.
that's like a really hard thing to get into.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
think
if I
that's-
could name a single producer in the entire world other than Jack Antonoff, who does Taylor Swift's music. That's it.
I think that I think she's kind of a big deal because she's a Black woman producer, and that's a really hard thing to break
And
into.
she got that huge contract with Netflix recently.
Well, those are giant
Because
shows.
did you read the article about how she like couldn't get into Disneyland, and then
Yep.
she's like a badass bitch, she was like,
Yeah,
peace
fuck this, I'm
out,
out. Yeah.
I'm going to Netflix. It was kind of the most badass thing I've ever read.
It was,
The article was
agreed.
really great about it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Disneyland,
Now-
like
Now
She-
I gotta
she-
go look her up.
she's made millions for ABC, like literally legit
Like
millions.
she has like the biggest shows on ABC, pretty much. I feel like.
And Disney owns ABC, and she
Right,
had
I've heard
like,
of all
passes-
those shows.
Yeah. And she had like passes to Disneyland, and they like when they base a white CEO or white guy of something was like, can't you just afford to buy your own pass, when she was trying to like get it resolved, and she was like, called her lawyer like right after she hung up with him. So great.
Crazy.
Love it. I love when people are like, fuck this, I'm out.
Are the worst.
Such a badass
Worst.
bitch moment for sure.
Yeah, I don't watch any of her shows, but I know who she is. So
Yeah.
I never really was into Grey's Anatomy or Scandal,
know
but
nothing.
I used to live with roommates that were obsessed with her. So
what is
That's
TV?
awesome, though.
That's my
I feel like
question.
now I want to know who she is. I want to go look her up and like read everything.
I just know her name from seeing stuff be announced or like
Yeah.
you know, the big shows, right?
Okay. So I have a question for you guys. I've been seeing the cast for Bridgerton, and obviously it's very diverse. Is that how the books are, or is
No.
that just an insert for the shows?
that's for the show. They're
Just
not
for the
diverse.
Which I think is great because like you're making up all these stupid dukes anyways. Why do we have to have everybody be
Mhm.
white English nobility from the 1800s? They weren't even
Exactly.
attractive, so you're already faking it.
And there was actually
Anyways.
I like that, but
And there was also mixed people, like mixed races in the ton anyway. And like we act like they were all white, but not necessarily all of them were.
right.
Like the Spaniards and the Moors in England had like stuff going on too. So
Yeah. And the laws at the time were that if a
Right.
woman was married and gave birth, that baby belonged to that man, period.
Mhm.
Like there was no, so if that baby was not, genetically her husband's, it didn't matter. Legally, that baby was the husband's. So there were, I'm sure, people who dallied whose offspring were not pure as the driven
Right.
snow.
for sure.
True.
Right.
That's how like Courtney Milan just did the Duke who wouldn't something. And that's
The Duke who didn't, and it's Asian
Yeah.
rep. I have that one on my TBR. I just bought that one recently.
I do too. I have it in my mailbox right now, a signed copy. I haven't read it yet. I just was like, oh, I can't a signed copy. I'll get that. When they did the whole big auction thing. So
I think Lacey might have just talked about that in a video. I think I just saw it this morning.
the auction or that book.
No, the Asian Duke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I just saw that this morning.
And somebody else does some people of color in Regency, I feel like. And I cannot. Vanessa Riley? Maybe?
I do not know.
I think it might be her. I might be wrong. Hold on.
I just don't read much historical romance currently.
It's not really your thing.
So I know a tiny handful.
That's
I've
okay.
read one since March.
Wow.
I've one.
So
I'll usually go through like
since
historical
March,
romance.
like I've read other ones, but
I usually go through historical romance phases. Like I'll read a ton at once, and then I'll be like, okay, I need to read some more contemporary stuff. Like I'll go back and forth.
I feel like I am never in one
Right.
genre for very long.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm just bouncing all over the place constantly, which is like good and bad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
It's
I was
also
kind of, yeah. November was a little weird for me because I was doing the Love in the Night, so therefore there were so many paranormal. But yeah, generally I have a lot more variety and skip
Yeah.
around more. I loved it, but
yeah,
I
that's
think
hard for
paranormal
me.
is one that I can definitely like kind of get in a rut with, kind of like read a whole bunch and then get burnt out. Yeah, Vanessa Riley, I was right. I also know Rebel Carter has historicals on KU that are polyamorous and people of color falling in love. So it's a nice treat.
I think a lot of people start with historical romance. Like they go from fantasy or nonfiction or historical fiction, and their romance segue is historical romance, and they think contemporary is not for me. Because I know I was like, I'm not going to pick up a contemporary now. That's like
See,
90%
for
of
me,
what I read.
Crystal, I mean, this doesn't surprise me for Crystal, but I feel like I pick authors that are my comfort authors, and that's who I go to when I want like certain things, and then I just bop through genres like a maniac.
Yeah.
Historical, yeah. I do think paranormal and historical are where a lot of people come in to romance from.
Right.
Yeah. paranormal
It's just
for
such
me.
an easy segue.
Oh, Kayla has the info for us on the Bridgerton
Oh,
show.
really interesting, Kayla. I don't think I
So,
knew that.
I did not know that the queen may have been biracial.
Very cool.
I'm not super up on my histories, as we
That's
know.
interesting.
I just
But
know
what
all the
queen
wars.
are we even talking about?
I think she's just referring to Queen Victoria. That was the queen for the Bridgertons at the time.
Really?
Mhm.
I haven't heard that like any royalty wasn't just straight up white, especially like
Because
with inbreeding and stuff, because it was like the German royal family and the French and the English and the Austrian, and they're like all cousins and they all keep getting sent in marriage. That's like all I've
they didn't
heard.
talk about. I mean, because they didn't talk about it. Because they didn't talk about it. Oh, that's basic. Because it was all.
Yes.
It's all been whitewashed over the
That's
years.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like how whitewashed
Right.
other things are, right? Like,
Plus, all the books that I read like as a kid, because I read a ton of like historical fiction as a child, they would have all been super old, so I'm sure they would have been very whitewashed.
yeah. Do you guys want to read for like another 30?
Yeah,
That sounds
good.
That sound good? I'm just thinking like we're coming up on 4:30. We'd read till 5 and then we'll wrap it up, call it a day, and
Yeah.
you know, we'll have gotten reading in today. Are you guys all reading the
Stay
same
tuned.
thing? Or are you switching it up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue.
All right, I am gonna pick something new, but I don't know what yet. So
Okay.
that's fine.
I think I'm reading this. I'll finish my chapter and then maybe I'll switch to duty with Jude.
We can go ahead and just start a little early if y'all want, or we can keep chatting. I don't know.
I wanted to comment on the historical being like the gateway to
Yeah,
romance
go for
because
it.
that was definitely me. That was me sneaking my mom's romance novels when I was like
Yeah.
14, 15 and thinking my mom didn't know, but my mom definitely knew.
Yeah.
But she didn't, and I wish I could go back and like look at some of the stuff that I actually read because I don't remember any of it. I don't remember any of the authors that I read. I have no idea. I was just voraciously reading what she had.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were not full-length novels. They were always compilations of like 3 short stories.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
My mom- Yeah, my mom read historical mostly back in the day, but I never snuck her. I feel like I'm the weird romance person that never snuck her novels. I like started reading paranormals in college, and just here I am. All I read's romance now, like 99% of the time.
No, I'm similar to you, Izzy. My mom read Nora Roberts and Danielle Steele, and I remember just reading like the backs covers or the blurbs. I was kind of like, not interested. And then some of my earliest romance were Christine Feehan that I just stumbled across in college. Paranormal romance.
It was Sherilyn Kenyon for me. And yeah, my mom read Flame in the Flower when she was 13 and it had just come out. She like snuck it from her mom. Yeah, it's wild. I was like, where were these for me to read? Like, why did I never see them? And my mom reads. She just crossed 300 books. Rivalry's getting very heated, y'all. Very heated.
Are you close to beating her at all?
I'm at 292.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. I have 25
So
volumes.
read a novella.
I have 23 volumes of manga to read. No, 22 volumes of manga to read this month. For the 25 days of manga. So I'm gonna kick
You
her
could do
ass.
it. You could do it.
I have to sneak up right at the end of the month. That's the thing. Because if I give her too much time, she can beat me still.
And just snipe it right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end. I'm just gonna like slide in and be like, "Ha! I beat you." Oh,
Good luck.
Harlan Historical. That's fun.
What's a
11.
What's UBS?
Used bookstore.
Oh, I've never seen that abbreviation for it.
I'm not either, but that's my guess. I love that Kayla and Heather that you guys didn't start reading romance until like a couple of years ago.
Well, that is really kind of interesting. That's so fun. You guys have so much reading to do.
For real. All right.
I love
Well, before I started BookTube, I always read, but of course I did college, I did full-time jobs, I did having babies, so I definitely fell off a little bit during like that season of life. And then after my daughter was born, she'll be 3 in February. I started reading again, and I was reading like hundreds of books a year, like more than I'm reading now. And I'm at 420 on my Goodreads right now for this
Oh my
year.
gosh.
So my DNF too. I count all my DNFs because otherwise I pick
Oh.
them back up and I try and read them. And then I'm like, oh, why is this opening to 20% to the book? Because I read it and it was dumb and I stopped.
Why don't you make an
But-
exclusive shelf
So I've
called
read a
DNF
ton.
and
Yeah,
put them
I
there?
have an abandoned
should.
shelf,
Yes, I do
and that
too.
way it's marked as like no more.
Okay. Well, let us know in the
I
comments when y'all started
I've
reading
started
romance.
doing a review that says DNF because
Okay.
otherwise I can't tell.
You can make a shelf, but that's beyond the point. Let's read till 5 o'clock, and we'll come back and talk about our
But
books.
then I don't see.
Sounds good.
Go read. You do what you need to do. It's just weird.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Where's
All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I feel like I lost track of this conversation in the chat. Like
Slightly.
I'm dating myself and pulling an Emma Watson. I'm like, oh, I feel old.
Emma Watson is like,
I mean, I don't feel that old.
she's in like a self partnership or something. She doesn't need a man, but she has like a label for it. I don't know. It's a thing.
Oh, weird. I missed this somehow. I'm gonna start telling people that. I'm like, are you married? I'm in a self partnership.
Oh my.
How is y'all's reading?
It's good.
Good. I could have been more productive, but
I got distracted by chats about being old.
yes.
Because I think we're all not that far apart in age, actually. Which is hilarious. I feel weird because I somehow just keep up with the lingo. I not purposely, it just happens. I don't know if it's a byproduct of Twitter and TikTok
Yeah,
or what.
I would say honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Probably,
Oh.
yeah, definitely probably TikTok. TikTok helps a lot with that. That's one rabbit hole I've not gone
It's
down
a
yet.
deep hole.
I know.
It is. I love it. It has saved. My mom's on TikTok. She's 60. I mean,
Oh, my mother can barely do. She doesn't even do Instagram, much barely Facebook.
oh, my mom's on Instagram too, y'all. Like, she's with it. So, I mean, she sends me TikToks all the time. Heather, you're right. Getting a phone number is a very big deal, more than a snap. Where's Tamika to tell us all this?
For
I feel
real
like
though,
she's
she
my
dated us.
guide to the.
Tamika's good at this too. Yeah, it's true.
I know.
That loser.
Well, she's a baby. She's like 23. She makes me feel old all the time. Not really.
Soul though.
It's fine. Ooh. She is an old soul. I'm not going to deny that. I just think it's funny. I was like, I knew what sus meant.
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't know what sus meant.
Well, I like kind
Somebody
of
was like on
knew.
Twitter. It was cracking me up.
My stinking kids.
Somebody on Twitter said that we all should be replying to Trump's tweets. That's sus. Just constant. And I was like,
That would be great. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I wish I'd
I think I
realized
knew.
this
I think I learned
earlier.
sus only like maybe a couple months ago.
I mean, I haven't played Among Us. Like,
I
I'm
played
not there
Among Us
yet. I
one
just
time.
don't care. I
I haven't
don't
played
really
Among Us
play
either.
like that.
Neither.
I play other stuff though, so like that's why I already knew Discord and some of the lingo. I
Yeah.
feel
See,
like
my husband's a gamer.
if you play video games, you
Yeah.
hear the lingo.
The two of us together have a very wide range of knowledge, but like he's half of it and I'm half of it. And he's that half.
Yeah, that's me and my husband too.
God, it varies.
Yeah.
Deja just makes me feel so old.
I know. I feel bad though because every time we're like, "You're such a baby. You barely count." And I'm like, she's probably tired of us.
It's okay. Enjoy life. Enjoy it. You know what? I wouldn't go back to those years in any capacity.
I don't know. I
Oh,
liked high
no.
school.
Whoa.
You-
Bold statement.
Oh wow. Nope. You couldn't pay me to go back to high school. No way.
I moved halfway through junior year and had to take finals twice. No, thank you. That was not fun.
I was homeschooled. It's all very exciting.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I had fun. I had my wild child phases, but I would not go back to high school. The only part I would
not.
take back is the lack of responsibility.
Yes.
I
That's
was
it.
I was not irresponsible, so I didn't even have very
Of
much
course
fun.
you weren't. See, I was like at the punk shows, at the skateboarding, Now, if I touch anything like that, my partner's like, absolutely not. We are not doing broken bones.
Well, I mean, I think that as far as like lack of responsibility is basically not having to pay bills or rent was
That's
is
true.
my I miss that.
Yeah, I'd love to go back to that for sure. But no, I wasn't
I only really miss
irresponsible.
getting to sleep in sometimes.
Sleeping in.
Now my kids are up early.
Yeah.
No, I was really busy in high school. I was like in 8,000 different clubs and I had tons of friends and everything was great. And then when all my like teachers were like, "Oh, college is even better." I was just like, "How can it get better than this?"
Wow.
I was like, "Okay."
I'm just mind blown right now.
Oh my gosh.
I enjoyed college a lot. I had a lot of fun in college. That was my fun phase. I mean, I also had a lot of fun in high school. Like I would love to go back to the no responsibility, to like
That's true.
just go to shows all the time, see bands, skateboard, hang out with questionable boys, do questionable things.
College is fun. I love college.
I had fun in college.
I don't think so.
That's interesting. Deja says high school now is way more stressful compared to college.
I've heard that.
I could see that because I feel like they're trying to overset you up now, and it's a good and bad thing.
I did see a TikTok because I do like watching when people share them, but there's like a TikTok of like comparison between high school teachers and college teachers. And high school teachers were like all like, I don't know if anyone's seen that one. High school teachers are all like, oh, you have to be here at this time and you have to write like this because college professors expect it. And then the college professor is like, oh, just show up to class when you want. Like that was like the comparison.
Yeah.
I just died because I was like, that's so true.
My professors were like, you better fucking be in class. But yeah, it was more that. I mean, I also married a questionable boy that I dated, who is now an accountant and used to have gauges and a nose ring and plays music still. So I can't really comment on that one. I'm just saying there were way more questionable ones than him. I was the quiet wild child is the best way to explain it. Like I don't know. I feel weird because like I dated a ton and everybody else I know was like, they didn't date at all. And I was like, oh.
I'm married to my high school sweetheart, so I never really dated anybody.
That's adorable.
That's adorable. But yeah, no, not me. No, your girl was breaking up with boys and moving on to the next one pretty regularly.
Yeah, but haven't you been married for a number of years, Izzy?
I have been married for 10 years, yes.
So you dated around and then you found someone and you stuck with them for a while because
we were not getting married. We were just a fling.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Here we are.
10 years later.
I'm vaguely telling you, I was the quiet wild child. Like I had a line of boys out the door to date from about 15 to 20. And then I started dating this one that I'm married to.
Hi, Megan.
Never stopped. I don't know.
Hi, Megan.
Hey.
Yeah. I didn't date very many. Yeah, I've been with my husband now for 12 years. Well, we've been started dating 12 years and we've been married for 4. So
yeah, 12 years in January we were dating. So I still had a very big fun phase in between that.
That sounds like my high school. I didn't have a job, but I did a bunch of volunteering, was a bunch of honor societies, did like all AP classes. I personally never really had to like work hard in high school. Like I was never like academically challenged until I went to college just because I could look at things, know them after only one time. So I didn't really need to study. I didn't really need to like do a lot of work in high school. But then that turned around in college. I had to work harder in college, but that was part of it.
I was not academically challenged. I mean, I literally took finals 2 times junior year because I moved and we'd already taken finals in Chicago. And I just like, I didn't do any of the clubs really though. I was like, I mean, I managed the wrestling team. I did that. And then I moved and played rugby. That was it. And then I moved and I just like dated football players in the South as like the weird punk strange child. Like,
Okay.
it does not.
Oh, brother.
I told you, I had strange. I don't know. I do not know how I dated so much. I just did. And I was very weird.
You're still weird,
so
but we love
cute.
I
you.
mean, I'm still weird, exactly.
And that is
That's-
okay.
That's wild. But yeah, I feel like my dating like range was very different. Because I like went from like I literally went to homecoming with a guy with a mohawk, y'all. Like just happened. And then I dated one of the football players and like most popular guys at my new high school when I moved to Georgia.
Your life just went from one end to the other.
Pretty much. I just was like, I don't know. He was really fun. He's a really sweet guy, but I don't know. It was very strange. He was Filipino and he was just like he was huge. So it was always hilarious when we go places because they were like, nobody believed him. They all thought he was like from somewhere else. They'd be like, where are you from? I'm like, this is so fucking wrong, but it's wild time.
Yeah, I wasn't a very good student in high school because I didn't care about any of the subjects. But then when I went and did college and actually like studied things that I was interested in, I was an English major. I just had to read all the time, and I was like, this is great. And it was a good time.
Yeah.
Nursing school would be hard. I was in business school, so I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was not my friends who were like, or my roommates that were teaching majors, and I was like, "You're doing what?"
Oh
And
yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, I'm gluing and taping," and I was like,
Oh no, the teacher people that I knew.
I mean,
were
I
like,
respect teachers. Do not get me wrong; it is a hard thing to do. I was just like the homework differences.
well, but like all the people that I knew who were majoring in education, like they had like their normal classes, but then they also had to like go do student teaching and do all this prep, and they had 20 projects and they had to grade stuff, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
That was-
that's the problem with being an English major. So like everyone, of course, asks you the question, "Oh, you want to teach?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. No, I do not want to teach. That means I have homework forever. Absolutely not. That sounds like
Yeah,
a
no.
terrible idea."
Yeah, I just majored in marketing. I was like, this is easy. And it was pretty easy. I didn't struggle in school at all, really. More focused struggles than anything, I'll say. Just typical.
Yeah.
for me.
I majored in science stuff, and nobody told me that I would need either just as much, if not more, another 6+ years of education, or I was going to be like cleaning up biohazardous waste. I would have probably picked something else to major in if I hadn't realized all that.
Except your major, like what they don't tell Deja, this is real life tips. They don't that your major doesn't necessarily matter in your career anyway. I've totally have delved into something else anyway, so it doesn't.
As long
It's
as-
not the end all. It's not the end all.
Yeah, a lot of
everything.
teachers I know of went into sales, of education stuff
Yeah.
and other things. So there's definitely, it's not the end all be all. I think if you don't know what to do, a business degree is always a good, just basic, gives you a groundwork for anything.
Yeah.
But it just depends. It really depends. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I know Steph's a teacher.
Yeah. I know a lot of the jobs here, they require a degree, but it doesn't matter what it's in
Mhm.
or if it's related to that in any way.
Yeah, my advice to my like 18-year-old self would have been a lot more focus less on your major and which classes you need to get those majors accomplished, and think more about what you want to do after school. Because I got to like midway through senior year and was like, oh shit, what am I doing with my life here? And it was like a scramble for me because I hadn't really been thinking much further than graduation. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just picked a basic because I knew like that skill set could be used for
Yeah.
a lot. And then I ended up in project management. So you can do a lot of stuff with pretty much most majors.
Yeah.
That'll be
Ooh.
fun.
That would be a fun. If I could just do college and just take classes my whole life, I probably would have done that.
I would
love
100%.
learning.
If I
a
was like,
professional student.
if I
Yeah,
had endless money and like didn't matter, I think I would just take like 2 classes a semester at a college and go to classes of stuff I was interested in.
Yeah.
And not
I
like
would-
give a fuck about my grades.
Yeah.
either.
yeah. You could do like the pass fail option or whatever.
Mhm.
I would totally just do that because there was just so many things that I could wish I could just learn and
Yeah.
continue learning. I still do in like my professional life too, but like if I could just do that as a student,
It's
I
so much
probably
more
would have
fun
had a
to
good
like
time.
go sit in a classroom though.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Way more fun. Way more fun.
Yeah.
So do we want to finish this off with some actual romance? Grumpy Sunshine talk?
Sure, we can.
Did you have any more Rex?
Hold on, let me pull up my list. Oh, I
I
started.
have.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Izzy.
I was gonna say I did start a new book, so I did pick something at least. So
Oh, what did you pick?
I picked The Redemption by Nikki Sloan, which is the 4th book in the Filthy Rich Americans, which is a wonderful taboo dark romance. It's mafia-esque, but it's not mafia, if that makes any sense. They're like super rich and like it's banking and it's wild. The secret is none of us know what we're doing. It's fine.
Same, Megan. Totally same.
I missed
None
the
of
first
us.
part of what you said, Izzy. I just tuned back in mentally and you were like, it's banking and it's wild. I was like,
Yes, it's basically mafia books, but they own a bank and holding company,
Oh,
and they're like
mafia.
stupid
Okay.
rich. But it's not mafia. Like it's like stupid rich people that you're like, oh my god, I hate you. It weirdly worked. Oh, that sucks. You'll figure it out though. I'm thinking it was for the best, most likely. But a lot of people, I know a lot of people who drop out of their PhD programs, so
Yes.
super common.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
yeah.
They ask so much of you.
Yeah. And that was,
they're tough.
yeah, that was not something I wanted to do. I was like, I loved school and I was good at school, but I was like, I just didn't want to assign another 4 to 6 years of my life to more school. So I was
Yeah.
like, nope.
Well, and that's like a
Same.
different level of different kind of learning, I feel like, style and like degree work to get a PhD to an
Yeah.
extent
Yeah.
than like the fun of going to classes and learning, I guess. Like I feel like you're teaching and you're writing theses and all this other no thank you. Okay, so more Grumpy Sunshine Rex.
I don't have it. I haven't read it, but it's on Kindle Unlimited if anyone wants to check it out. And I've read the author by Lucy Score. It's a Sunshine Grump that's called By a Thread. I have it on my Kindle right now. I just haven't gotten to it. Have you read it, Heather?
How is it,
I read
Heather?
it. It's very good. It has a
Okay.
bajillion things in it that I hate and cannot stand, and I gave it 5 stars anyways. So it was really good.
Wow.
So, and that is a
Wow.
Sunshine
True
and Grump,
story.
right? 'Cause that's what it's
Because,
marketed
like,
as.
a lot of it's I want to say it's a boss romance or
Yes.
an office romance of some sort. But a lot of the conflict and angst was like her pride. Like she wouldn't accept help and she wouldn't like ask anybody for help and she was just like drowning, like struggling to do everything herself. And her dad had dementia, so that's a really big storyline in the book. Which again, I normally don't like to read that type of thing. My grandma had Alzheimer's and they lived with us because she needed care 24/7. So I'm like, I would not have picked it up, but it was done super well and I loved it and it was so good, even though like my entire review is this book is amazing. Here's all the reasons I normally wouldn't like it. It was really good.
Wow.
Really good.
That says a lot.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It
It's
really
not that
does.
long
It was
too, so
very
I'm
good.
surprised it packs that much in it.
So I've got a novella, Rex.
Oh, it was so good.
Tycoon by Joanna Shoup is a 1920s Gilded Age, right? That's Gilded Age? Whatever. It's
Mhm.
Gilded
Isn't that the
Age.
Sunshine Grump?
Yes, that is
I've heard of
Sunshine
that one.
Grumpy. It opens with her running up to him on a train platform and making him pretend to be her husband. And then they go on a journey on a train together across the country from like New York to St. Louis or something. And they team up and there's only one bed because there's only one cabin on the train. And it's so good. And it's a
One
novella,
bed.
so it's snappy. I think I gave it 4 stars. I still wreck stuff. I gave 4 stars. Like everything doesn't have to be a 5-star read.
Mhm.
But I think it does the combo of like Grumpy Sunshine and the like there's only one bed situation pretty well. And there's some caretaking in it that's really cute. But yeah, it's like
Who was
it's
the
maybe a
author?
little Joanna Shoup, maybe a border on Grumpy Sunshine, but I did find that he was pretty grumpy and she was pretty sunshiny.
I think I remember this seasonally booked up when they were doing Joanna Shoup. That a bunch of people really liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was really cute. And I
Yeah.
need to finish that series. And what else? Yes, definitely Anastasia vibes.
Ooh, and Anastasia is one of my faves. I'll have to look at that.
Let me see. And then if you want a queer Grumpy Sunshine, there is Just Like That by Cole McCade, which is part of the new Karina Adores line that came out this year. This one is a big age gap, so I'm going to give you a heads up on that. And it follows a professor named Fox, and what was the other guy's name? Summer is the other character, and he comes back home to his town to work at the school he went to. And him and the professor kind of butt heads and end up falling in love. It's very, there's a lot of content warnings on it. Let me see if I don't have, of course I don't have them marked. When you open the book, it does give you all the content warnings, and they may be in the summary.
Can you give me that title one more time, Izzy?
Yeah, Just Like That by Cole McCade.
You. Ignore me.
You're fine. I wish it would let me link to the books. I will link everything in the video comments. I already added everything we already talked about after the video's over. I'll add these last few in as well. So that way, if you want to go grab them, they'll just be linked to Amazon. Yeah, I really like this one.
You are so handy.
I thought about it while I was listening to the audiobook, and I was like, I should go link everything so it's just easier for everybody. Yeah, I really liked Just Like That. I want to read the next book. Very emotional. It's kind of an emotional read, but not like make you cry. It deals a lot with depression and grief. So
okay. Heather's look. Heather's face.
I don't cry, so you cannot use me as a barometer. I mean, I cry
Listen,
like
it's not even the crying that's
Baby
the problem.
Yoda.
Is that like if I'm irritated from the book, then I'm irritated with my husband, even though he did nothing. I'm just like, the guy in this book is messing up, and you are on my nerves for no reason. So I try not to get emotionally riled up, because then in real life I'm just like, oh, I can't stand you people. Go away.
That's so funny.
That's
That's
funny.
great.
I'm
Super
not like
healthy.
that at all.
Don't worry about it.
I am right?
So
Yeah,
am.
And I also linked everybody in the description box. So if anybody is not following someone on this live, you better get on it because everybody's got such great channels. Heather's your go-to if you want nonstop Rex.
Oh yeah,
for real.
Laura
always has hot takes on books that people love. I feel like that's my favorite thing.
Okay.
I will be like, I loved a book, and Laura's like, I hated this book, and I'm like, wow.
Okay. Really, very briefly, why? Never mind. Just never mind.
It's okay. You're
No,
allowed
everyone
to
is
not like
loving
it.
the takeover, and I was like, I don't think we read the same book. Like, what?
I haven't read that book yet. Still, you actually
Oh,
made me a little
really?
bit nervous.
Oh, interesting.
That's me with
But
Birthday
that's me
Girl.
right now in Her Night with the Duke. I don't like it, so it
and
happens.
and that is all okay. Everyone, sometimes
Yes.
books are just not for everyone.
I know, but
And Thainy, when you put out content, I always just love watching your videos. They're so fun.
Oh, thank you.
But I know also life.
Sorry.
Everyone isn't neurotic like me and is like, I'm doing 3 videos a week and I have to do it. And if I don't, I feel like a failure. So don't be me, guys. Don't overcommit yourself.
I haven't put
film
anything
mine
out.
on Sundays.
Yeah, I haven't put anything out in days. I'm like, whatever.
It's fine.
I filmed a bunch yesterday, so there's more stuff coming. So that was kind of nice.
Yay.
Yeah, I was gonna film. I could not. This week was just like I could not film earlier this week. I was just so
I have to film
unmotivated.
tomorrow for this week because I'm behind right now, but
Yep.
it's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna try to film before this, but that didn't happen. So.
It happens. It's so much work.
It really is.
But yeah, I think that's it. Does anybody else have any questions in the chat? Anything they want to throw out as a rec? Stuff from Novelty me. I feel guilty if I miss my schedule. Exactly. It's how I feel. I don't know why. I wish I wasn't that way. I always feel that way. So generally I am filming a week ahead ish. So it works, but
Well,
I'm not
now
like
you're
you psychos doing Vlogmas. I love y'all, but you're all insane.
I cannot. I no way. No how. But
I did it
props
last
to everyone
year.
doing it.
I gave people my advice. I told them don't do it.
You have
But
to
also,
know thyself. I'm not doing it ever.
I
Yeah.
appreciate everyone doing it also because it was so fun. Ooh, I like this
Well, that's a
question.
good. That's a good question.
All right, we'll close out with this because I think this is a really good question. Let me go look at my Goodreads.
I
So I'll think for a
I
second.
have no
I'll go
idea.
first, okay?
Oh, you
I have
already
no
have
idea. No, that's the point, is that I don't actually look ahead. I have no idea what's coming out this week, let alone next year. So I am not anticipating anything because I tend to be like, oh, this book came out. Oh, that's not true. I'm looking forward to Evie Brown. That comes out next year. There,
Mhm.
boom. Stole it. That's my answer.
Oh.
I mean, I think the one I'm most
Oh
hyped for
my.
is. Oh, go Heather. Go ahead, Heather. You know.
I don't know. You proceed.
Uh,
I think the biggest one, I might steal this one. I don't know if you have this one, Izzy, on your favorites too, but The Heart Principle by
Definitely
Helen Hong. That one's like I am super psyched for Kwan's book. Like I am so ready for it.
I am too.
I'm so-
I'm
I
very
was-
excited.
I was so bummed that it was pushed back. So I'm really stoked for it to come, for that one to come out. That's the series, the Kiss Quotient series. For those who
Yeah,
don't know.
that's the third one in that. Okay, I've got three. Three work. We'll do three. I've got If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy, which is her adult romance debut, and it's a Cinderella retelling. I'm very curious, nervous. We'll see.
I don't know who
we'll
that
see how
is.
it goes. Also, Slow Burn, which is spoiler alert number 2 by Olivia Dade, is supposed to be coming out next year. If you haven't
Ooh.
read spoiler alert, you need to get on that.
I didn't know there was going to be a sequel. I'm down for that.
It's going to be the friend at the end.
Okay.
I cannot think of her name. You know exactly what I'm talking about, probably though, and that character, I think. I'm 99% sure. And then I'm also really excited for Gray Hair Don't Care, which is about a 47-year-old like newly divorced makeup artist
Ooh.
by Karen Booth.
I like it. I don't know. I mostly read independent, and they announce like a week before they release.
I know. That's always the hardest part with the indie authors I like. Tasia, I think that'll be fun. I
Yeah, that's a
might
good
do
idea.
12 days after Christmas to do like a bunch of my end of year content. Maybe.
I just have mine all scheduled throughout the month. It's
Yeah.
all mixed in.
How much
Yes.
end of year
2020
content do you
list
have?
trope wreck. Like everything.
Well,
How
it'll
much
be
do
like
I have
favorite.
planned?
I've got a good list going of some end of year content that I'm going to start doing. So,
What?
yeah.
Those are good ones.
Yes, these are great.
Those are good.
ones.
Yeah, those are good ones. Stuff.
That's all you have to do at the beginning. It's fine. I'm insane. I'm like Deja. Editing takes me not too long. I don't think it takes me as long as it takes Deja, but I do a good bit of editing on my stuff.
Editing takes.
I'll be
I think
color
I'm getting
correcting.
better and better at my filming and
Mhm.
therefore needing to do less editing.
That's always a
But
good
also, I'm caring less. So I used to be like, that author is the, and then I'd like redo a whole take. And I was like, now I'm just like, that author's da-da-da. And I just like leave it in. I don't care if I fumble through something.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting better at filming and speaking. Sometimes I feel like I stumble over my words when it's just me. So but then I'm getting less critical about editing all that stuff out. So
For me, it's more just like the things I add in. Like I like doing that. Yeah, Deja, you do all the meme stuff. I don't do that, but I add in a lot of like other graphical stuff. I feel like depending on the video.
Yeah.
It depends. If I'm doing vlogs, I'll have graphics. If I'm doing like different, yeah, it's just how I work. I worked in a creative field for too long to be like, I'm just gonna let this go into the world. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I have to make things.
Some days I'm just like really snarky while I'm editing. If I'm feeling spicy, then I'll be like memes, gifs, and I like draw stuff on me and I like make fun of myself, past self during the filming. But other times I'm just like, if I'm feeling kind of calm and sweet, I'm like, well, whatever. This is a nice video. Let's send it out into the world and be happy.
Yeah, I'm slowly trying to add like more graphic stuff to my videos. I don't know. I'm weird. I actually like editing.
Oh, I hate editing. I hate it so
I like
much.
editing. I don't think I'd like making graphics though, because I'm so mad at Canva all the time that I don't think it would be a great
Yeah.
thing.
Just use
but
desktop.
I don't. Oh my gosh. Maybe when I get a new computer. Maybe
There you go.
but it'll be a laptop, not a desktop.
Well, I just mean
Comfy
use it on a
flexibility.
main screen,
Yeah.
like not your phone.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like I
Yeah.
edit my vlogs even more than I edit my regular videos.
I don't do that many vlogs, and the few times I have, I feel like it's an all or nothing. I look at a clip and there's no good like halfway point or like places to cut it out. So it's either like, well, this whole 5-minute chunk is in or the whole 5-minute chunk is out.
Yep.
I don't like vlogging. I'm just so boring. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to
I
talk
think I'm
about.
super boring, but everybody loves my vlogs, so don't
Yeah, not-
ask me.
I'm so sorry, Bethany. You were like, I'm
If
so
you
bored.
don't
I was like,
know.
yeah. It's like, I don't,
Yeah,
I didn't
you are.
mean
You're
that
really
boring. I meant that,
boring.
like, I agree with you in that I feel that I am boring for my own vlogs.
Right. Like I literally, if I'm not reading, I'm
If
watching
you don't
TV.
know what to put in vlogs, just put like cleaning.
I loved Heather's cleaning clip. Oh my god, it gave me so much joy though.
Oh, I
Again,
love that.
I think my vlogs are super boring, but everybody tells me they like my vlogs, so I don't know what to tell you.
I like your vlogs because they are like a check-in with the book and your thoughts. To me, that's what's most interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like people showing their cute dogs and like prepping meals and stuff. That's fun too. But like the whole like, oh my gosh, guys, like I cannot believe the hero just did. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Where's this going?
And I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what most people like is that I am like, wait a minute,
Yes.
this just happened.
Right.
What the F is going on in this book called The Skeleton King?
Right.
But then it only works if the book actually draws a reaction out of you. If you read a bunch of
that's
Pixar
true.
books,
Yeah.
That's very
not as
true. Is that
much
like
fun.
sometimes I feel like I'm reading and I'm like, I don't really have a lot to say. I'm
Sometimes,
not really,
yeah.
so
I
then
mean-
it's not a really fun vlog.
I just put in myself cooking or baking. But that's what I do. Like this week's vlog, guess what, y'all? I made fudge. So you're going to see me making
Ooh.
fudge
Fudge.
and making
love
a
to see
dinner.
it.
I also made a dinner in this week's vlog that comes out tomorrow. So those are the things I add in. I think for me and during like the pandemic, at least I found vlogs very comforting because it's fun to just kind of feel like you're in somebody's life a little bit, which is weird as that sounds, but like it just makes you feel like you're I don't know, connected to people still in a weird
Yeah.
way. Kind of like you could go over to a friend's house, but you can't.
Yeah.
So
I'm nosy. I like watching people's vlogs
Right.
just to be like, can you move your head? I want to see behind you.
I use Adobe Premiere, but I don't recommend that for beginners. Personally, like I don't think it's worth investing in Boundless, but I don't know what everybody else uses.
I use a free software called Shotcut. It has kind of a learning curve, but that's what I've been. It was free, and I was like, I wanted to start editing videos, and that's what I started with. It's on desktop.
Okay, yeah, I used to get Adobe through work, so I just kept paying for the student edition when I left that job because whatever. It's like $20 a month, but I think it's a lot for a beginner, and I use the other elements for things too. So that's why I say I don't recommend it necessarily for everybody.
I think it's
Oh,
important
wow,
to
all
know
these-
your personality. and like what you're likely to do. Like, are you likely to spend $1,000 on the YouTube channel and make one video? Or is that not how you work? Like once you start, you're going
Mhm.
to be in it for the next 10 years. Yeah, I know
That was
what your tendencies are.
Yeah.
that's why I started with the free editing software, because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm starting this and I have no idea how long I'm going to continue with it or if I'm going to like it or not. So that's why and eventually if I continue doing it, then I'll look into like investing more.
I mean,
Same.
I eventually invested in a camera because I use a desktop PC. So transferring clips from my phone was a pain in the butt. And for me, that was the best investment ever because it actually made it easier for me to film. But I don't recommend anybody buy a camera before they hit like 1,000 subscribers or like make 50 videos. Like you need to do I believe in doing that initial work like on the cheapest budget you can.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'd been doing this for 2-ish years, I think, or a year and a half. And I bought a camera. Not that you can tell because I privated all those videos. So good luck finding them. But yeah, like I just eventually switched to that. And it's been a game changer to be able to just like grab my little doohickey and go. But I don't recommend it to start.
Yeah.
I think your phone's enough. And I just think,
Right.
I don't know. There's so much free stuff now too. Like it's so much better than it used to be.
Plus, you're not going to go from 0 subscribers to 50,000 subscribers in a week because you spent a bunch of money
Exactly.
producing your video.
Well, and that's why I say don't do it. Like
People
I did
don't
it
know
after
you're there until they know you're there.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't invest anything really until I had hit that. And now like I have some things I pay for because I like them, not because I'm making enough
Right.
money to cover them through my channel, but because I have the extra income that I can do that.
The only thing I think I pay for regularly is my transcription software, but that's because my captioning is really important to me. I don't like and I don't like how YouTube does captions. So
I need you to send me what you're using for it.
It's called Descript. I can put it in the chat. It's called Descript.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it's
more captions, but I hate.
Yeah, editing captions is a big time suck for me.
It is for me too. But what I like about Descript is that it does the timing for you, and it puts it all in one document that you just can edit as you go, and then you upload it to YouTube. It's only I think it's like $13 or $14 a month, which is not that bad depending on how many videos you put out. It's like the same. It's like I feel like it's worth it for me.
I think quality can help, but I do think it's good to get a couple videos under your belt before you make the investment. See if you actually like it. Because if you don't like it and you spend the money, it's not worth it.
I think
You know what I mean?
quality impacts videos in that if I as a viewer find somebody and I can't hear them, then I'm less likely to watch their content. But if they're if their videos, like I just do all my recording and stuff on a phone, so it's not like super top-notch visuals, especially at night. Like my phone doesn't quite get that same crisp in the image quality as it does like during day when I'm like well lit in sunlight. So, I think your quality has to be like pretty poor before I as a viewer would be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to watch this.
And you can also get like those mics for the phone if you have the sound issues, and that can take care of most of those issues. I feel like if you get like the, lavalier mic. So I feel like, phones now are so good. You don't necessarily need a camera. Some of my vlog clips are done on my phone. I just don't like filming myself on my phone.
The only thing about that I have struggled about filming on my phone is the fact, like, when I'm filming on my phone and then, like, I'm trying to remember an author's name or I'm trying to remember, like, some sort of content that I'm talking about. And then I'm like, but I'm filming right now. And I don't want to have to, like, I always try to film in one video in one shot. So I don't like having to go in and out of it. So that's one of the things. And then I would like to, like, do vlogs where I listen to an audiobook and I'm like doing stuff around the house or whatever, like that kind of, but it's like on my phone. It makes it more complicated for me. So I like to have like my phone separate from filming, but it works for how it is right now for me.
Yeah, no, it does. Like that. I think your content looks fine. So you're good. Like
Thank
that's
you.
what, like a lot of people film on their phones, and if you told me they did, I wouldn't have known
Yeah.
until they shared. So I think audio is the biggest struggle on phones,
Yeah.
but you really, like I said, my biggest thing is if you want to do it, go film like 3 videos. Just try it. Sit down, film some videos, try editing them, see what you think. And then
And
before
get-
you
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
no,
Izzy.
I
What
was
were you
gonna say, and before you even like launch your first video, like do the BookTube newbie tag and do 2 other videos like that same week that you're filming, edit them and have them scheduled to go up, and then start working towards more videos.
What I was going to say is just have more of a backlist. Start with a little bit of a backlist. Have
Yeah.
like videos ready to go. That was something I did not do, and I totally regret doing that.
I highly recommend
mess.
it because I didn't do it necessarily either, but I think it helps to get you in the rhythm of filming.
Yeah.
And to like, even if you don't even publish those videos, you scrap them and redo them, it just gives you that like experience of like doing it. Because it takes a while, like just to get in the rhythm of it. I feel like I don't think it's a, instantaneous thing necessarily.
It has been such a steep learning curve for me, for sure.
Yeah, it is. And that's why, like, if you can get a few done, it can help teach you, figure out the things you need to know. But yes. Wait, no, that's not the comment.
Right.
I agree with you, Jaja. I think thumbnails are extremely important.
Yeah, thumbnails
All
are
right,
super important.
darlings.
Oh, I think Heather cut out.
Oh, I think she
Oh.
froze a little bit. Oh, I think you're
Yep.
back.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh no.
She keeps coming in and out.
Oh, I'm gonna go anyways though, because I told my
Okay.
husband
Bye,
it
Heather.
would be 2 hours. And now it's
Oh,
like
you're good.
2:50, so.
We
Bye,
kept you
Heather.
longer. I'm sorry. Bye.
Take care.
Oh, there we go. I removed
Oh,
her.
there she
And I added her back. Yeah, thumbnails are important.
Some thumbnails are super important. There was another question by Boundless about what we're watching right now.
Oh yeah.
Like super up there, super far up there. I wanted to see if
You-
my recommendations are just gonna be Hallmark movies, but if you're into that, then yeah, I can give you those recommendations.
Nope, that's BookTube. There we go. What shows or movies? I am watching The Mandalorian like everyone else.
Did you just see the new episode?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My husband and I were basically flipping our shit yesterday
Same.
watching it.
Same.
If people haven't watched Mandalorian, it is the most Star Wars of Star Wars you can possibly get, better than any of the prequels or sequels.
It's so good. It's
really
the
great,
best mix.
for sure.
Yeah, that's about it. And I've got some Hallmark movies to watch that I recorded with the Friendly app thing.
Yeah, I have a ton of Hallmark recommendations on my Instagram. You can look at on my profile. I have like all my Hallmark reviews. And I've been doing a lot of holiday romances right now. So, I just watched Christmas Waltz is the one that you have recorded, Izzy, and
Yes.
it was so good.
So excited.
I really enjoyed it. It's really cheesy, but I still really loved it. But I think I love the cheese.
I'm not
because I like
watching
the romance.
those for anything to not be cheesy though. Like I want them to be cheesy.
Yeah, same.
Laura, are you watching anything?
My husband and I are working on Queen's Gambit. We're almost done.
Oh, I've
Nice.
heard really good things about that one.
It's interesting. I didn't know that much about the world of chess, so now I'm learning. But yeah, at the moment, other than that, we're kind of between shows. We just finished. We'd watched all of Avatar and Korra, but we just
Nice.
finished that like 2 weeks ago.
We
And so
abandoned Cora.
Well, it was getting kind of close, and I was like, let's just power through this.
We got
But yeah.
halfway and we just like fell off, and I was like, I don't think we're ever gonna
Yeah.
finish.
You didn't like Korra? People have very mixed opinions about Korra. I've watched both, and I've watched them several.
I like
when they
half
aired.
of Cora, and then it starts to drop in like season 3.
Yeah.
I can
I feel-
agree with that.
My husband said that Korra was very like they never knew if they were going to get the season or the show renewed. So each individual season is its own like adventure, which is on the one hand that's fine, and on the other hand, I sort of wish we had more like overarching the same way Avatar did.
Right. Same. I think that was the weakness of it, is they didn't never knew if it was going to be renewed or not. And then they kept like, and it just, the story wasn't cohesive as well as
Yeah.
the first series.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I do think we do get to explore a little bit more of the world with Korra. Like and even though I don't like that there's like romance, like drama and stuff happening because they're a little bit older, I do like that they're a little bit older. And so therefore we're getting a little bit more of like a glimpse into like how adults would function in this world.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of really heavy themes in Avatar that were amazing, but like didn't, I was like, why'd they make this into a kids show? Like I wanted more. So anyway, but yeah, once we finished that, we kind of have a discussion about like what our next big thing we're going to dive into is, and we haven't picked anything yet. We watched Good Omens, and then we're going to watch Queen's Gambit, but both of those things are like, one season or short. So
if you liked Avatar, I know Dragon Prince is another cartoon that's on Netflix. That's got kind of similar art style. And actually,
he recommended She-Ra.
I love She-Ra.
She-Ra's
really good.
I haven't watched She-Ra yet, but I've heard such rave reviews about She-Ra.
Okay.
We watched that together and loved it.
Dragon Prince is actually kind of cool because it's actually got a deaf character, and they have her signing in
that's
the
awesome.
cartoon.
I like that. I
And
liked
signing-
in Mando, the Tusken Raiders, they worked with sign language, like people that speak American Sign Language to create the language. I was like, that's so awesome.
It's not true American Sign Language, but they used a lot of the American Sign Language like system to kind of create their own language.
I just love that they did that and they actually like consulted people and like didn't just fling their hands about.
That's
always
right.
It's almost so much better when they consult and then it looks in like an actual real language for sure. So Dragon Prince, that was the one I was going to suggest. There was one other one I was going to suggest, but I don't know. But for Avatar,
TV, to be honest with you,
I mean, Avatar was his choice, not mine. I ultimately ended up liking it, but we had just come off of Jane the Virgin, which was my choice, and he was like, I mean, he watched it and he was fine with that, but then he was like, "We're gonna go Avatar and Korra because there was so much Jane the Virgin that that we need to do both Korra and Avatar to make up for it." I was like, "Okay."
You're like, "All right, that's fine."
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. If you're into musicals at all, that's my obsession. And the new season comes out January 5th. I am so hyped.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched that yet. Again, like I'm the worst at watching TV, so
yeah.
Kayla
That's
said she was watching Virgin River, and she just restarted Jane the Virgin, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Bridgerton right now. Like I'm just kind of in a weird waiting period.
I sort of wish I had Hallmark movie access because I'm sure I would watch 2 of those a day, but I don't pay for that. So
I just do the Friendly app for a month and I record all the ones I want to watch for it's like $7.99. Watch them and then I get rid of it.
That's what I have. I have the Friendly app.
Mm-hmm. So it's worth it for that.
It's on my Roku, and you actually get like 10 channels. I mean, you get all 3 of the Hallmark channels, and then like several other like Christian happy uppity channels or whatever. But I really mostly do watch. Sometimes I'll watch 1 or 2 on the other stuff, but mostly I watch all the Hallmark content.
I don't watch all the other ones, but all right, we gotta wrap this up. I have to go order Chinese food for dinner. So
we're having taco soup.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
What are you having?
Taco soup.
Oh, that sounds yummy too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's only 3:00 here, so
I know you've got a whole day ahead of you. It's almost 6 here. Thank you everybody for hanging out. I know we ran long, but we all got chatty, and I love when that happens on live. So
it's so fun.
It's a fun time. I will link all the books in the description box. I think I got all of them. If not, I'll go add them back later in a minute. Everybody's linked down below. Be sure to go subscribe to them. Keep reading your romance for the takeover. We'll see you in a few days at the next live read-in. I don't remember who's next, to be honest with you. So
I think there's a couple days off, aren't there?
We've got some days off here. So, we'll see you reading then. And vlog for this tomorrow. So that'll be fun. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.